Eternals, 2021. When Marvel announced Eternals, people expected an epic that would expand the MCU into new mythologies. But audiences were left scratching their heads. The film introduced 10 immortal alien characters, but the storytelling was too rushed. It tried to cover thousands of years of history, bouncing back and forth in time without giving viewers a chance to truly connect with anyone. Some characters felt paper thin, others morally confusing, like Druig and his cult of mind-controlled humans. The premise clashed with existing Marvel lore, especially when the Egyptian gods in Moon Knight contradicted the whole Eternal-shaped humanity's myth idea. Even Kit Harington's Dane Whitman was reduced to a glorified cameo. Fans often say this movie should have been a Disney Plus series instead. That way, the betrayal twist with Icarus and complex world building could have had the breathing room it needed. But instead, Eternals ended up being one of Marvel's rare rotten films on Rotten Tomatoes, and a major box office disappointment.
I did stuff that should have been a home run, and then it wasn't. Like Eternals, it's Oscar-winning director, one of the craziest casts, When that movie came out and the reviews weren't good, that was very, very tough for me.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, 2022. This should have been Marvel's wildest, most ambitious movie, a dive into infinite universes with Doctor Strange at the center. But unfortunately, his spotlight was stolen. The biggest complaint? Well, this wasn't really a Doctor Strange movie. It was a Wanda Maximoff movie. Her sudden leap into mass-murdering villain territory felt jarring, especially since WandaVision had just given her a redemption arc. Fans hated seeing the same storyline recycled. Wanda uses powers she doesn't fully understand, wreaks havoc on reality, and then sees the error of her ways. On top of that, for a film about the multiverse, we barely explored any. Instead of a galaxy of worlds, we got two. The cameos of characters like Reed Richards and Professor X only made things worse, since Marvel immediately killed him off. So the end result was a movie that promised groundbreaking spectacle but felt like a wasted potential, and left many fans questioning if Marvel even knew what to do with its biggest ideas.
Only that you had inadvertently triggered an incursion. You, our friend, had caused the annihilation of another universe.
Everyone in that reality died. Everyone.
Thor: Love and Thunder, 2022. So after Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi was praised for revitalizing Thor with humor and style. But in Love and Thunder, he leaned too hard into the comedy, turning tragedy into parody. The villains and side plots were heavy. Gore the God Butcher was a grieving father turned cosmic killer, and Jane Foster's arc as Mighty Thor was about battling terminal cancer. These should have been emotional anchors, but instead their stories were undercut by screaming goats, jealous weapons, and forced gags. Critics compared it to Guardians of the Galaxy, which balances humor with real emotion. But here, the tone clashed so badly that Gore's haunting journey barely mattered. Even Christian Bale's incredible performance couldn't save it. Fans argue Marvel tried to squeeze two different movies, Jane's tragic story and Gore's dark crusade, into one, and both suffered. Instead of leaving theaters inspired, audiences left frustrated, and Marvel's once golden comedy formula felt broken.
The good news is you're Asgardians. So if you die, you'll end up in Valhalla.
Oh my god, go away.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
She-Hulk: Attorney at Law, 2022. Disney Plus promised She-Hulk would be a fun legal comedy, but what we got was a divisive show that split Marvel fans like no other. From the very beginning, Jen Walters' infamous speech about being better at controlling anger than Bruce left fans furious.
I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Boy, if you don't! Comparing catcalls to Hulk's trauma of being hunted, experimented on, and forced into exile felt insulting, not just to Bruce, but to viewers who had followed his journey since 2008. The show leaned on meta humor and fourth wall breaks, but when the jokes didn't land, there was nothing left.
You in the case, and you are not helpful here at all.
I feel like this is gonna land better coming from me. Look, we got plenty of time to switch things up and let me do the closing.
Dennis, you aren't.
The courtroom drama was weak, the action almost non-existent, and the CGI criticized as some of Marvel's worst. While some enjoyed its sitcom-like tone, most found Jen unlikable, entitled, and stuck in a story where nothing mattered, since even the finale rewrote itself as a gag. With a massive budget and so little payoff, She-Hulk became the poster child for Marvel stretching too thin. Miss Marvel, 2022. Now, to be fair, Miss Marvel wasn't universally hated. Many praised Iman Vellani's performance in the early episodes that celebrated her family and culture, but the series quickly lost momentum. Instead of keeping the story grounded in New Jersey, it veered into Pakistan. No offense to Pakistan, but alternate dimensions and time travel altogether. Fans felt the personal charm was replaced by generic MCU spectacle, and Marvel's decision to change Kamala's powers from her iconic and beginning abilities to glowing constructs only alienated comic fans further. By the end, Miss Marvel felt like a tight coming-of-age superhero show and more like another setup for bigger projects. Audiences tuned out, and this lack of enthusiasm carried directly into the Marvels the following year.
Well, that does not sound like science homework.
Okay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania 2023. This was supposed to be Marvel's new Avengers level moment, the introduction of Kang the Conqueror, the villain of the next saga, but instead it became one of MCU's most ridiculed films. The quantum realm looked like a green screen mess, MODOK's design was a meme, and the stakes felt empty.
Is someone in there?
Oh, yes. A destiny you cannot escape. Our fates have always been forged together.
Surprised to see me?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Fans could not believe Ant-Man, a comedic side hero, was tasked with carrying the entire franchise's next villain. No offense to Ant-Man fans, I'm sorry. And when Kang was beaten by Scott Lang, the supposed Thanos-level threat lost all credibility. Even worse, the story was shallow, filled with contrived writing and cartoonish side characters. Critics called it a Saturday morning cartoon with a $200 million budget. So instead of launching Phase 5 with excitement, it killed momentum almost instantly, plus the additional drama surrounding Jonathan Majors. Secret Invasion 2023. So, Secret Invasion should have been Marvel's answer to Winter Soldier, a paranoid spy thriller about Skrulls infiltrating Earth. But in reality, it was one of Marvel's worst Disney Plus series. The show looked cheap despite its massive budget, with bland cinematography and weak effects.
You're flailing. You're weak.
Well, I'm out, man. I'm stripped.
The plot dragged, twists were predictable, and characters like Nick Fury were stripped of their mystique. What's even worse was Marvel wasted years of build-up. Maria Hill, a character from Phase 1, was killed off in Episode 1 without meaning. Talos was written out unceremoniously, and Fury never got the emotional moments fans expected. What should have been an Avengers-level crossover event ended as a forgettable series, further eroding trust in Marvel's Disney Plus shows. The Marvels 2023. So finally we have The Marvels, a film that may have broken the MCU beyond repair. Once expected to be a billion-dollar hit, it ended as Marvel's lowest grossing movie ever. Each of its leads faced criticism. Kamala was written as overly hyper and unserious.
I still cannot believe that Captain Marvel was here and I didn't even get to meet her. You know, we're supposed to be all like twinsies, you know, we have the same name. I would obviously then, I don't know, just give her the letter that I wrote for her and we would go out for lunch.
Monica's storyline was clumsy and inconsistent, and Captain Marvel herself still failed to connect with audiences after 4 years.
Kamala, need to save who we can.
It was a ruse.
Fans argued Brie Larson's Carol Danvers lacked depth, charm, or emotional range.
No.
The story leaned on awkward comedy instead of world building, and the villains were completely forgettable. So in the end, The Marvels didn't just flop financially. It confirmed what many fans feared. Marvel fatigue was real, and the hype is dying. That's 9 minutes. Thank you for watching. Like the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more flops.